really want to.
Awesome.
I can move that Telltale Games a little bit, so it's
Telltale Games. Yeah, maybe.
You don't want gams?
Gams.
I like them gams.
You know, it's funny. It's so off-center here.
Telltale Games, see? Be showing off nothing but Jason's leg.
Put on your 3D glasses now,
In
folks.
this perspective.
What's everybody? How are you guys doing? I am Ryan Weller, and welcome on into the Player Space, where we get to hang out with some of our awesome, cool developer friends. And speaking of which, we're here joined by Jason Latino.
Hi.
Hey.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Is that more chill?
That was more chill.
Okay.
That was more like
you can
lean.
choose.
Yeah.
I'm overthinking it now.
Yeah, I know, right? How do I do
Well,
the
it's
intro?
your chipper intro thing where it's just like that's
Would you rather be like, hey guys, Ryan Weller,
right.
Player Space.
That player. Telltale.
These developers, anyway, this dude, Jason Latino, whatever.
That works. Hi, I'm Jason Latino. I'm the episodic director for episode 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been with the company for 6 years. Worked on Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, lots of Walking Dead, Michonne, and I've been with the company since Jurassic Park. This is a really fun project. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, so we're going to be playing this time on our faithful Xbox controller. Last time, if you remember, I blamed all my mistakes on having a PS4 controller in my hands. So,
Well, poor athlete drilling his racket.
Exactly. That's what gamers do. They come up with excuses. And so I'm sure if I end up screwing up, it's going to be like, the buttons, they're too slippery, or,
That's what we need. We need you rage quitting Telltale Games. It's like,
God, you doing what? So here we are, start episode 2, Under Pressure. Now, of course, we get the song reference.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any say in? Did you get a chance a vote?
On what the?
I
I think the episode titles were nailed down early in the process. I think maybe before I rolled on episode.
Okay.
So.
All right. I was kind of curious if you're like.
No,
Under
if I
Pressure.
would have picked one, it would have been the Tangled Up in Blue because I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. So.
Well, there you go. All right. So we're gonna get here into episode 2, Under Pressure. Should you want to start this episode, choices will be auto-generated for unfinished episode. Yep. We're going to be starting this as the complete default, everyone, just so you're aware.
That certainly happened last episode.
Do? Because, once again, amazing YouTuber and streamer here is probably should make sure subtitles are always on.
It's audio visual, yeah.
Subtitle size. See, look at that display. Subtitles. Boom.
Boom.
You want to hear what let's what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch over to the stream safe music. So as you guys can see, for YouTubers, streamers out there, we have this option now because we know you go through these issues every single time with music. It's not us. It's copyrighted music. Yeah, we too have to go through the same kind of stuff as well. So just to show you, we're going to turn that on as well so you guys can hear what this is going to look like and how we won't have to worry at all about if we go silent for a moment and be like, quick, talk, get over the music.
Talking over the music.
He's holding a cup. Oh, the Eternity Force, that's right.
Shots.
And we talked about if it was planned that he was going to be drinking out of that thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was a very early. Once the concept art kind of was solidified, they were just kind of like, that looks like a cup.
We've
got a bar scene.
Make shots out of. It's delicious.
There was actually talk for episode 2 about whether or not that would affect how the relic functioned.
Really?
Yeah, the relic might be drunk. I think we dropped that though. But headcanon.
So going into episode 2, what were some of the major choices from episode 1 that you had to be aware of and keep in mind going into episode 2?
The biggest one is this: where did you who did you sell Thanos' body to? Is has a huge effect.
Gotcha.
Drax, kind of whether or not you allowed him ownership over if he killed Thanos or not, definitely kind of affects his thing. And there's
God, he went emo.
Yeah,
he went straight up. If he had hair, I would have combed it over.
Right? Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3 style,
dancing, all that. Now I love her design.
Yeah,
and she is tall.
Yeah,
good God.
That's good.
It's but a flesh wound.
Rated T for teen. I keep on having to remind. Coming off of Walking Dead, I'm just kind of like, this should be like stuff dripping off that spear.
You're like, where's the gore?
Yeah, where's the gore?
Where's the intestines hanging out?
It's just intestines.
All right, so we got this, and I love this part. I love this. The swear's hidden.
Right. Yeah.
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 And
then
the pause.
Wait for it.
And then we go back into it. This is
loading.
This is prime commentary right here.
Right. Yeah. This is a couple guys making noises. Burp, burp, burp.
Great. We've turned into Muppets.
I've been a Muppet for a long time. Wait for it. Wait for it.
It is the most built-up moment ever in history of games. Yes! Yes! Now, if we just cut those together, he actually swore. I love, oh God, already. I love that.
Oh, did you actually? Okay. We were trying to make that really hard so most people would just get hit by the fire extinguisher.
Like I said, typically I played as a lovable rogue and whatnot, so...
Well, you are a lovable rogue.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
It's just method playing.
It's method.
It's a Stanislavski Telltale gamer.
So when it came to this, like when we first ended the first, episode, it seemed like, oh my God, he's alive! Elation!
Right.
So how was it? Like you had to sell that they were just kind of like, oh God, demon, foul.
I think it's just one of those things where it's just like everybody's happy to see their friend back, and then like it's like almost like the end of The Graduate, where like the smiles fade and they're just suddenly like, wait, no, this is weird. We've seen a lot of weird stuff as the Guardians of the Galaxy. We don't see.
I had to do this.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Just to have this callback. Stop doing that with your pelvis.
This?
Yeah. I can picture you in a mocap suit.
It wasn't me. It was.
Do this.
It was not me. I haven't worn the mocap suit yet, but I want to.
For those that don't know, mocap suit, it's very flattering. It's skin tight green suit.
Yeah. I mean, just wearing ping pong balls on a skin tight suit is just it's coming. It's in vogue this season.
I think I'll get superpowers now. I think I should get superpowers.
I mean, you already have at least one.
Yeah, exactly. Power of dance.
Power of dance. Yeah.
It's nice seeing Rocket here also in the co-pilot seat, because we all know he also knows how to fly.
Ship go. Like that was the kind of the big draw for me was just getting some spaceship action.
So how hard technically was it to get the spaceship?
It wasn't actually easy, but we managed it, and I'm pretty happy with the maneuvers that the Milano's allowed to pull here.
Can you describe to us, maybe in kind of like layman's terms, like the difficulty, like what is all involved getting the Milano to move around in this space?
So it's got like, I mean, we made like a kind of a hierarchy for it. So there's pitch, yaw, and roll, and so kind of you're manipulating kind of different joints essentially. In order to get on, like kind of, it's a lot like a puppet, where you just kind of have these different manipulators, and that you're doing that. And like we had animators focus on other things, so our cinematic team really did most of the kind of the Milano maneuvering, like and spaceship performance, as it were. The Drax actor, he's a really funny guy. If we do the Nova Corps branch in this, he does one of the Nova Corps officers too. And it's so weird that he does Drax and like this really Poindexter, like play by the books kind of Nova Corps.
Now, what would you say here?
We're all gonna die.
Of course you would. Well, there you go.
Maybe not Peter. But yeah, it's so like we did a lot of Drax kind of comedy on this with a VO. Like he would deliver a line, there'd be a natural pause, and then we deliver the rest of the line, just because like there's so many of these moments that are just kind of like Drax going on his own little kind of rabbit trail, and just like allowing people to respond to like Drax just kind of spacing out, expounding on his own little kind of Draxisms.
So is there any particular character after the first episode? We've really focused heavily on Peter, of course, rightfully so, establishing, with the Eternity Forge and everything else. Once again, I just love our intros with the title.
Yeah.
What characters did you want to bring more to light here in the second episode?
Definitely Rocket. We're trying, like, as you can see with like the episode title screens, we're trying to give a little bit of a spotlight to each of the Guardians across the season, and so this one's kind of definitely like kind of Rocket focused.
Gotcha.
So he's gonna have a little bit more to say.
Under pressure.
I did learn that if you want to get the most out of your art team, you say make the planet look Blade Runner-y.
And now
Yep.
you say it, indeed it does. It definitely has a Blade Runner feel.
I feel like it's pretty much, and there's some kind of like Kirby-like shapes and stuff like that in the background, which I love those.
And the neon lights. What? Oh, directed by Jason Latino.
Yeah, there you go. I really love the lighting on Yondu right here.
Yeah. Yeah, Groot. I feel so bad for Groot, how tall he is when he walks into a place, tries not to hit anything.
Yeah, I feel bad for the cinematic artists who have to keep him from hitting everything.
This is my coworkers, meet my family, these are my friends. I'd say family. And you stick him in the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, it's a closet, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nobody puts Groot in the corner, right?
And I like how Rocket sees his little trinkets, his little chotskis there on the side.
Yeah.
Was there any influence to Yondu from the movie in this?
Oh yeah, I mean, like the Yondu from the comics is a little different, so we wanted to go with something that's like the take on him from the movie felt very grounded, and just a little more accessible than because like even I think the Yondu in the comics hasn't been on the Guardians in a while, so.
Now I have to say the show stealer, the scene stealer in this one is definitely, in my opinion, Drax in the background.
Oh yeah,
with his crunch every single time, eating the nondescript, by the way, cookies. These are not at all the black and white cookies that you may know of.
They're space cookies.
They're space cookies. And then this reveal, I couldn't help laughing because I didn't know where you guys were going to go with this. I thought they didn't know each other.
I remember reading this right after they wrote it because it was one of the later edition scenes to kind of punch up the beginning, and I was just like, wait, what's going on here? And then I got to that punchline. It was just like, okay, all right, cool. I'm down with this scene.
They know each other. So so clearly the model is definitely influenced from the movie because I've seen how he looks like in the comics. And
right, yeah.
Very, very different look. So for you, was it then, did you guys do any rewrites or anything else like when the second movie came out? Did the second movie come out in time to actually influence it all with any of this stuff?
Not a whole lot. The second movie, it's like we did get to see it, but like this episode was pretty far down the pipe, and it was funny because I was wondering, it's like, okay, did we get some of these characters right?
Yeah.
Like, are we too funny? Are we not funny enough? And they just went full blown comedy, with the second movie. But I feel like there's a lot of our characters that feel about right with where they are in the movie. We just might be a little more serious because we're we do a lot of drama here.
We
especially when we're doing flashbacks to Peter's dead mother. So.
Seriously. Next thing is, so we have these star clusters here. We have Orion, Gemini,
Orion.
So we have these here. What was the influence of this kind of like this puzzle, the connecting of the dots?
Well, we felt like, so it was again kind of like based off the stargazing sequence from episode 1. We wanted to figure out how to make it feel like you're participating with your mother in something that might have happened while putting this a little bit of a twist on it. So it feels like you're kind of role playing. It's just like, are you acting like a kid who's trying to get information about what's going on? And the stars start to go out and other ones start to appear. And it felt like a kind of an opportunity to allow the player to participate in what's going on rather than just like, cutscening our way through this.
Now, I have to admit, when I first looked at this, I thought for a second there, I thought this was like the Big Dipper. I didn't understand. I was like, oh, okay, of course, yes.
Right, yeah.
I could have sworn, like, if you could see, like,
You just gotta read the rollover text, man.
Yeah. Well, I know. I was just saying. I always loved looking up at stars as a kid as well.
Yeah.
I know it's so funny because depending on, like, when I moved out here to California, I noticed I couldn't really see the stars as well as I used to be able to.
Well, yeah, you're a bit closer.
And
to
you're from wide open spaces as well.
Yeah,
So,
back in Indiana. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you've been with Telltale for how long now?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, since Jurassic Park. I was here before it was cool.
Yeah, Jason's OG. Jason's OG. He's
I came here because I wanted to make Sam and Max games, and then it was like, well, Jason's here, the party's over.
Yeah, okay. Stop, Sam and Max. Achievement unlocked. Double fantasy.
Double fantasy.
Now, here's an off-the-wall question. That scribble on there, is that based off of anything, or is that just...
That's based
Scribble.
off of some scribbling that a concept artist did.
Gotcha.
It was basically, we need some creepy-looking glyphs, and then it was just somebody was like, you got it. I'm sure they put a lot more thought into it than that.
Most likely.
But it was definitely, there was not a whole lot of, like, sometimes you end up with, like, there's a lot of back and forth over certain assets, and this one was pretty much just like out of the box, just kind of like, yep, we're going with this.
So out of all the assets here in episode 2 that you worked on, you were looking at, what was the most back and forth probably thing that you really wanted done right?
It comes up later in the episode, but I'll point it.
Okay, all right.
Because it's for me, it's always like it'll be an Easter egg for me. Like I always try and sneak them into the episodes.
Now, were you able to sneak in any Benang into this episode?
I don't think so, actually. That's one of the with Benang in particular. I always let somebody else try and sneak it by me, and if I don't catch it, then it's a good sneak. But there's definitely somebody got one into 301.
301
of Walking Dead, but I have if it exists in here, I have not seen it.
So for those at home, if you guys don't know, Benang is a running Easter egg, a running gag in all of Telltale's games and RIPs. Whether it started off with Sam and Max, if I remember correctly.
Benang. Benang. Benang.
And it's just something that has been perpetuated by a lot of people, whether it's just a poster or a cup or something else.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be what, like a fruity drink?
Yeah, it's like a Tang kind of like powdered drink mix.
Gotcha. All right, so real quick, we know what choice is coming up here. Which one would you choose?
I'm Team Rocket all the way, and not in the Pokemon sense.
I was gonna say, you blasting off again?
Well, we will be very shortly. Hey!
Oh God. My mom, nope.
Who'd you bring back?
I think that's a base instinct for most people.
It's definitely trying to keep Meredith as a presence, in Peter's life, and kind of in, the best way we have to, or one of the easiest ways anyway to kind of keep somebody on the player's mind is through that wheel. And then it's just like, it's at least kind of representational of like, okay, this is the kind of the cloud of thoughts that I have, at this moment. So it's a way to kind of keep that pulse.
So we have no timer here. We can just.
Yeah, this one you do Ryan.
We can munch on this. You can weigh it out. So sure, we can go right away and back our main man Rocket here, or we can back Gamora. Now, as I said, my waifu, she played through the first episode, and I gave her the controller. She had free range. And every single choice she made, she's like, gotta follow the booty. Because her idea is like, if she backs Gamora, then she's gonna have a relationship with her.
Right.
And so every single time, I'm just over there dying. I'm like, follow the booty. She's like, follow the booty.
Yep, I'm rolling. Okay.
I like you just said that. It's like a Rorschach test. That was my honest reaction. Speaking of Molly, I think she designed these for the team. For that
and by the way, showcasing a little something here. If we can, there we go.
Not available for resale anywhere.
Not available for resale, and I don't even think anything is on here.
There's these little tchotchkes that you can get, and I think it's 15 minutes of blank cassette. Yeah,
so I mean, this is something that we'll do for each other more often than not. After completing an episode or something, a lot of us will sometimes just make cool stuff for each other, and this comes from our very own Molly Maloney. So the interesting thing though is this is my first time seeing this branch. Because when I did a playthrough, it was actually the other way.
Yeah. If you don't promise Rocket, he maybe goes off script a little bit.
So we're going to walk around and talk to everybody here. But yeah, when I played it, my version is like, then Rocket's just gone.
Yep.
But now we're going to get a chance to see the consequences of not backing Gamora immediately and seeing Nebula and what happens there. So this is going to be interesting for me as well. Let's look out. Let's look out over the city. Aw, so romantic. So glad I could share this with you.
Yeah. That's Patrick Jensen did all our matte paintings, and he's fantastic.
It is really cool. And then look at Stick. Okay. Is Groot is that Groot poop?
Poop probably not, but he could be shedding.
Sheds?
Yeah.
He sheds branches.
Yeah, you got to get that brush to get the underbark, out.
And then we have Candy. There's once again, and this is a running joke because I remember clicking on Candy in the previous episode as well.
Maybe by the end of the season we'll find out who's been eating all the candy.
Yes. Oh yes. I like all the stickers. That's on it.
I don't know what this does when you have it in the stream of music mode.
I'm kind of curious as well. So what you guys are listening to right now is royalty free. Now typically, right here you would be hearing, do you remember what song would be playing?
Well, you can. So the Milano, we kind of refer to it internally as Milano Free Radio, but you should be able to select the different licensed tracks that have shown up in the game so far. So that catalog will continue to grow over the course of the season.
I'm a collector of fine art. I do like, if you guys saw, there was Bork right there. I forget what that was supposed to be.
I don't know.
Off of.
We do have Linda
Kids.
Bork, so I don't know if it's a reference to her.
Anyway, model toys. Only present I ever got from Yondu.
Here you go.
I do. I mean, I do like his obsession with just Chotskis just everything else.
That's true. For Yondu, that's probably a sign of respect. Here's something to collect desk.
Exactly. Rocket wouldn't let him. So why wouldn't Rocket let him put those in the common area?
I assume that Rocket doesn't always approve of Peter's taste in music. Knife Driver. Oh, I love that.
What is that supposed to be?
I assume it's a takeoff of Knight Rider, but
yeah, totally. Now I see it, especially with the mustache.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, champ.
Last time we had him pointing to the camera and be like, "You are,"
Yep.
And now we have, "Let's go, champ."
Champ.
I hope from now on that is just every single episode. It is a new.
Yeah, somebody gets to do something a little different each time.
Seriously.
Once again, the candy. All right, we're gonna follow this caper of candy.
The candy caper.
The candy caper. Hey, we also make Batman games here, so
That's yeah.
we're gonna go into that holographic look mode and
Right. Yep.
yeah, exactly. Splinter Cell it up.
Yeah, he should use his time scanner to find out.
So we're in Gamora's room.
Right. Yeah.
We have not sided with her. What is her demeanor like depending on either way? How hard was it to make sure that it was a distinctly difference between supporting her and not supporting her.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's definitely like it affects her attitude, how much you can actually talk to her. Certain avenues of conversation are going to be cut off if she's angry. This was a fun environment to kind of work with the art team on and just try and figure out. It's like, okay, what is, what encapsulates like who Gamora is, and so we kind of have like these two walls that we wanted to put on screen. One that's a bit more meditative, and then one that's a bit more violent. On cute, nice.
Well, even right there in one line.
Right.
I like the flowers, and I made him give them to me.
Right. We've got a little like essential oils like diffuser down there on the floor. The mystery box.
It is interesting. It almost looks. Oh God, what is that movie that just recently it's Doctor Strange. It almost has like a Doctor Strange kind of feel to it.
It's funny because like there's a lot of like when we're trying to figure out how to make things look kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that, like we definitely looked at a lot of Jack Kirby's work and a lot of Steve Ditko's work as well on Doctor Strange to try and figure out what are the kind of visual cues that we can use to build out the weirdness of space.
Well, it definitely has that feel. So let's talk to Gamora here after we have not sided with her.
Right.
I'm not looking forward to this. She's not happy.
She looks happy with us.
I mean, after all, it is her sister. She hasn't seen her sister in quite a long time.
Right.
And who is the, and I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot on this one. Who is the actress who played Gamora?
Yeah, I'm not good with names.
All right, no worries. Me neither. Oh, and she already kicked us out.
Yep.
Oh, crap. Okay. So I will even say the conversation, if you side with her, is she talks definitely a little bit more.
Yeah.
This was get GTFO. This was definitely get the heck out of there. It looks like we have more candy. So that was a great reveal.
There you go.
There you go. The person
candy
eating all the candy. Right now, people's are like, mind blown.
Yep, it's like with the Memento. We just Chris Nolan you.
Do you guys need a moment? Do you guys need a moment of silence or something like that, just for that big old reveal?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if your minds are blown right now,
it's Telltale.
Hit the pause button, take a breather, grab a cup of coffee, orange juice, soda, whatever, and then come back here when you've recentered yourself for that amazing reveal. The candy caper has been solved.
We should have named the episode The Candy Caper.
Oh my God. That would have been...
There's no song called The Candy Caper.
That would have been perfect. All right, so I feel like before we go upstairs here, let's go talk to Rocket. I mean, just the amount of detail that...
Yeah, this was... so it was, we try and kind of personalize the space, and this was kind of just an engine room for a while. Very I also think that hallway is one of my favorite pieces of environment. If you walk back out in the hallway, it's like all the piping, all the surfacing, and the textures. Like there's just a lot going on just this one little hallway.
That is true.
And our art team just does a fantastic job with these environments. But so they worked on the engine room here. And so we were working on ideas on how to kind of make it feel personalized to Rocket. So we threw up some posters and kind of put this little netting, cargo netting as a hammock. So we get the idea that Rocket kind of spends his time down here.
So let's talk to Rocket here. Is clearly not okay.
I'll leave you alone. Later, Quill.
All right. Well. Really? Anything else?
Back again?
Yep.
Thanks for the talk.
Thanks for the talk. All right. any one more time?
One more time. Yeah, nice.
Have a drink on you. Noted.
Thanks for the talk.
Thanks for the talk.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to see if there's anything because I'm
You're one of those guys.
as well as a classic point and click adventure gamer. I was actually even talking to Molly. I know we don't do it as much as we used to because most people, they click on it once and then just walk away.
Right, yeah.
I love it when we
You
have
click
those
on
kind of
something
things,
50 times.
and they can get to, like, you can hear something different because, we had a lot of those in season 1 of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget because that was one of the scenes I worked on, was when you climb the fence and you're in the backyard of Clementine's house.
Yep.
We had the tea set and all, and there was like 3 to 5 different things Lee would say, but most YouTubers I watched play that, they wouldn't even click on it. They're just like, nope,
Just
gotta
walk
go
right
gotta
by
go
it.
back.
And
I'm
it's
like,
oh, my hard work.
all that stuff. But why did I suddenly go, yeah, Scoob?
Like Scoob.
But yeah, and so I really do enjoy that when we do end up having those kind of moments in our games where we can click and maybe get those little funny moments.
Yep.
In more.
It's a great place to bury Easter eggs.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna give a little behind the scenes kind of thing. Even when we've had a few moments where it's looked like Peter has gone from the bottom of the bridge to the top into the pilot seat, those are 2 completely different scenes, aren't they?
When we're on the lower deck and then when we're up here, yeah.
Yeah, there are 2. So what do you see? We've had a few times where there's a loading screen. We've had a few times where there hasn't been a loading screen. How much thought goes into where those loading screens go?
Many meetings. Like it's we want to do our best to provide the seamless experience, for the player. The tricky thing is like how much notice. Like if you're playing on a certain path, are we able to kind of predict how far out a player is from a scene load? Can we start preloading? It's a little bit harder with free walks because it's like you just walk up, click on that ladder, and then up you go.
Yeah.
But just because you're standing next to that ladder doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to go up that ladder.
That is true.
And that kind of thing. So it's a little, the more interactive the scene is, the kind of the harder it becomes to preload those assets and provide that seamless experience for people.
I do love how also we're paying homage to Yondu and Peter having like the same kind of jacket almost.
Yeah, that's some great. It's not environmental storytelling, but visual storytelling by the art team.
And I do like that we have. Okay, now here's something. Now, movie 2, Yondu, I will definitely have to say, stole some of the show in movie 2.
Yeah.
The actor did an amazing job. How much would that then, because we have what we like to call live development.
It's pretty close, yeah.
How much does that then impact some of our choices when we notice, like, oh crap, some people actually really liked a particular character?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely factors in, what, it's not just what, audiences respond to, but what we respond to. And it's like, it's, as an artist, if you can't move yourself, if you can't, if you're not moved by the product that you're making, then it's not going to move others. So there's definitely a little bit of an internal barometer that we keep on these things, and how we respond to the movie is going to dictate how we choose to execute these characters as the season progresses. But yeah, I mean it's an evolving, it's a movable thing. It's it's we were talking before the recording, just like I know this episode as a bunch of tangible, changeable files and that kind of stuff. And then once we GM one of these bad boys, then it belongs to the public. And
Now, for the layman's term, what is GM?
GM Goldmaster, yeah.
Goldmaster.
Which is that is the product that is going to be public facing.
Gotcha. Little sneak peek for everybody. Everybody watching here is that. Before I switched over to become the show host, I've been here for almost 6 years, coming up here in June, actually. Good Lord.
It was again midsummer, yeah.
And so I actually, before I switched over, I was working on a lot of the rocket stuff here that we're going to be coming up to as well. So I do have a little background information in here, so spoilers! Questions that sometimes ask when you're interviewing somebody you already know the answer to. But Jason here, being the amazing director he is, I requested, I wanted my last scene to be more of a serious nature, and he definitely delivered. Definitely allowed me to have more of a serious moment.
Ryan, being so experienced, gets thrown on action scenes a lot, and so we wanted to send him off with something emotional.
Okay, here we go.
Subject seems to be responding well to the program. Vital signs are good. Still no rejection of the artificial vertebrae or neural implants.
So when it came to the opening of the scene, because now we're definitely getting into the meat and potatoes of
Right.
Rocket's background. How much thought and time and planning was kind of going into this whole introduction into Rocket and what he went through?
Just that opening shot was like, we did like several revs on even that opening cutscene. The writing changed because just trying to figure out how to if you miss a certain piece of information and you're not seeing all of the medical screens up in the background, you could think they're in prison. And so like really making sure that we could leverage the visual storytelling with the text of the VO to really clue people in. And so like that opening shot, like we went back and forth on that a lot.
It was.
And just figuring out, we were trying to do one of those kind of done in one crane shots for a while, but what we wanted to do is make sure that we were like really honing in on like the syringe and like the brain scans, and that sort of thing. Like,
and I remember like for a while there, you had the scientist there at the beginning.
Yeah,
and we were like, no, none of that.
Yep.
And then there was even a different way of shooting it. Wanted to make it look like maybe that they were in the same cage,
and then there was a big reveal halfway through. Like just that shot where we just showed the door and like that they're behind these blast doors and stuff like that was originally the point at which we realized, hey, they were in different cages and they were both like kind of working on their own little gadgets to help them escape.
Yeah,
it's interesting information isn't always clear information, and so it's just like that's like our design team really special, like gadget.
Yeah, there we go.
Our design team really specializes in the information flow and just making sure that the proper amount of interesting information is getting doled out at the proper pace, so the player can ascertain what's going on, especially when we're just like throwing you into the middle of a flashback, to a non-player character's memory and that sort of thing. So it's just like there was a lot of back and forth. And
this is my favorite little joke here, is the ear twitch.
The ear twitch.
Twitch.
And this, like I will say, even though we noodled with the opening of the scene a lot, like this part, like you've been on it from the beginning, it's like has changed very little. Like the first draft on like 80% of the scene is what we're seeing right here.
Why do you keep doing that with your face?
Nailed it in one take.
I like how he does not understand the concept of smiling as of yet. And of course, since we're Rocket,
I'm not letting them do anything to you.
I'll kick all their asses.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
Oh. All right, here we go. Now, I would actually like to say, so this is a little something I was a little proud of myself. I was able to have oh, come on. There we go.
Yeah, you're going to say this and you're not going to be good at it.
There we go. I could have a little bit of input on. So when it came to this moment, we were trying to, originally it was just a quick little button press, and then that was it.
It's on-screen button.
And I personally was just like, well, he's supposed to be hacking. He's supposed to be doing something, so it can't just be like an A or an X and, one and done and call it a day. So one thing I wanted to do was, since I play a lot of games as well, and stream, off during my own time, that kind of stuff, one of the games I got into was Warframe. Was a particular game out there. It's and so actually that inspired the idea of that little puzzle sequence, because I know in Warframe they have something kind of like that. And so I was just like, well, you know what? Why don't we do something much like that? Why don't we, we can make it our own, but here's an idea. And so put it out to, Mark Darren, and they changed it up. They ran with it. The UI team came back with it, and so it's one of those kind of things that it's kind of cool. So you get to see us as Telltalers. We're still gamers ourselves. We play a lot of other games, and those too can help influence some of the ideas that we can have. Now, I also know this went through a few iterations as well.
This went through a lot of iterations, and it's all in trying to just get this choice, this setup to read and feel natural.
So what, can you speak on some of the different iterations that this went through?
I mean, just trying out different staging, like, where was the scientist, like, was that door open, was it shut, and that kind of, those kind of staging decisions. We ended up kind of inventing this wall panel to show that, Lila's got similar hacking abilities to, or hacking knowledge to Rocket, and to really show this, like, the thing where somebody has to stay behind and to make this scenario make sense, so that we can try and get, like, will you leave an otter behind? It's like it's definitely skewed in a particular direction, but we wanted to, comes down to tuning, like, even how we frame this choice of honor her wish.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a romantic at heart.
Yeah.
I gotta carry my sweet otter love. I will save you. This is where you need that, that Rambo. Okay. Hey, I went for it. I was gonna commit.
Yeah, you committed. You committed.
This is where, of course, Liam Dion comes in. My heart will go on. God, this is sad.
Yeah.
And this is actually legit gets me a little bit. Because, well, I have had a dog that I've had to, of course, put down, unfortunately, and it's just like, this is what it brings me back to. So sorry, it's gonna make everyone cry now, but this anybody who's ever had, like, if it can hit you on many different levels, but for me it hits me on the level of, like, I had a pet that unfortunately I had to put down, and oh god,
the old Telltale, you're sad now. You're sad now.
I've seen a lot of people have said what they think of Telltale when it comes to our sad moments. I've heard people say that we live off the tears, the salty tears of our fan base, and I'm not going to deny that.
So, you're sad now is, like, when you work on 4 seasons, 4 different products for The Walking Dead, you kind of have to come up with a term for it. It's like, what is the emotional beat that will just make your users cry? And we call that the you're sad now. And so, when we're introducing and killing a character, like, in the same, 15 minutes, like Lila and that kind of stuff.
That is definitely a Jasonism, if I've ever heard one. That salty son of a gun. So yes, you cry. Just know you are feeding Jason. He is well nourished.
And then she's dying in your arms, and she touches your face, and then she goes, and then, like, the life goes out of her little otter eyes. That's you're sad now.
The old Telltale you're sad now. That's going to be the byline. Put that just in the description of this video. Right. The old Telltale, you're sad now. Oh, God. As you can see, Jason is one of the most feeling and lovable people.
Yeah. And this was Nolan North, on Rocket, and it was a little intimidating, actually, working with him. He's a super nice guy. But it's I'm a huge fan of his work. But he's so good. He just goes through his with a lot of VO actors. There's like the ABCs where they'll give you an A take, a B take, and a C take. Yeah. Each one's a little different, moving the inflection around, changing the emotion. emphasizing different words to make sure that different we have enough material to kind of change directions and make sure there's a flow. And he'll do a set of lines or just one line at a time. And very seldom did we need any more than just like the ABCs. Like he's all pro, and his talents are much appreciated, especially for this episode.
Yeah, there are a few voice actors out there that. Like we're very lucky, I feel like, here at Telltale that we get to work with a lot of very talented voice actors.
It's really cool. We work with Sissy Jones, who just won a BAFTA. Melissa Hutchinson was up for one last year, and I forget if it was Kevin Spacey was up. Yeah, and so she's up against Kevin Spacey, which was amazing. Dave Fennoy, Adam Harrington, we work with just crazy amounts of super talented people who, on our cinematic kind of aspect of our job, they're the Al Jolson to our Charlie Chaplin. We're doing the physical acting but we have to be fed with kind of their audio components.
And we hear their voices all the time. So I have to say the weirdest thing at times has been, I remember when I first met Melissa Hutchison, played Clementine, and all I've heard is just her audio the entire time, and Dave Fennoy as well. So when I got a chance to first meet them, it is a little weird. I'm hearing you guys now talking, and it's not in these little audio blocks that I can move around. This is strange.
I can't control you. Why won't you dance, puppet?
It's such a weird thing to go I'm used to controlling you.
Right, yeah, exactly. Move you around.
So here we are with Nebula. Now, since so as you can see the base, and I even did this in my game, I told Gamora to reconnect with Nebula. But we're having this kind of problem where we told her to, but we didn't support her in connecting with her in this episode. So we're in this very odd gray area that even I don't know where things are going to end up.
There's a special, if you really are just keep on choosing against Gamora's preferences in this episode, she'll just straight up tell you off. She'll list out she does remember that. She does remember that.
Why can't we be friends? This is the part where we grab hands, sing Kumbaya.
Right, yeah.
Why can't we be friends?
Well, so she's handcuffed and missing an arm.
Of course. What's a pair of handcuffs between friends?
Between friends.
I'm going to try as much as possible to back up Gamora now.
Oh, you're going to try. Okay.
Because, I'm trying to... Oh, crap. Oh, well then. We've resulted to spitting.
Yep.
Shackles won't keep me tethered for long.
Now, be honest. How much was that your influence? You're like, man, she should get a good spitting in here.
That was not me. You can spit back at her if you want.
Oh, God. I have to. Forgive me. I have to. I didn't know that was an option. I haven't seen that before.
That's in there.
As you can see, we are the age of men here.
Yep.
We you spit on me, I spit on you. How dare you? And I'll spit back. Oh! Like I said, this is my first time seeing it. Last time we did this because we sided with Gamora, she pulled it out herself and gave it to Peter when I saw this. Yeah. So, jeez. Darn you, Telltale.
Yep. No, and that scene can play out because you can have Gamora leave the room. That scene can definitely play out.
So if I had her leave the room, then it probably would have gone back to the whole thing and possibly her taking out herself.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some branched content there, and the way we try to weigh that decision is Nebula starts that scene by basically talking through you into Gamora. You see her kind of getting her hackles up about their shared history with Thanos. Her hackles. Hackles? What is he, 80?
Get that hackles. You got my hackles up there. Here. Wait. No. Let me guess. He's looking at his phone, isn't he?
Hackle. Any long, slender, often glossy feathers on the back of the neck of a bird, especially a male fowl. Hackles. The erectile hairs along the back of the neck of an animal, especially a dog. Hackle. A feather usually from the neck of a chicken used in trimming or fly fishing. Thank you. Hackles. I could be totally wrong on that, though.
Oh my gosh. Now, this is one of those kind of things that I also like. I have to give a shout out to our sound effects crew as well.
Yeah.
They do such a good job. Like, our cinematic art team, they'll put in, like, these pushing these buttons and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
And
sometimes they're off screen, and
Yeah.
so they're just kind of like, I think that's a push buttons animation.
Exactly. And
yeah.
and then they have to go in there and then they fill it out. They put on the sound effects and it makes everything come to life. And so big shout out to them and all their hard work and catching all those little details. And Molly says we like to think that this is a little soft joke to Mass Effect and the slow elevator.
Oh,
loads
yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2, like, okay, so those things, that's what we went back and forth on. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because they were like, they were fairly generic, and this being a Kree temple, definitely wanted to pull in the visual language from the Kree centuries, from the comics, like these mechanical soldiers that are ancient, like, and they're self fixing and all that kind of stuff. But they go way back. So any temple, like early Kree kind of artifacts and culture I would think that they would, they're kind of like these immortal warriors almost.
Oh God, why?
That was I forget who came up with that, but the idea that, like, you know, Drax's misunderstanding of metaphors would also extend to holograms and visual representations, where he's just like, he takes the hologram literally.
Yeah, and he was holding you between his bosoms.
Yes.
I do. I mean, I just want more. I cannot wait till our Groot episode to see.
Yeah, what we do. Yeah.
What are the interactive beats when it comes to all that? Like, if there's some sad stuff, like
yep. The what is Groot is saying.
You know what kind of reminds me of also a little bit is back in Poker Night 2, we had in the Borderlands, we had Steve goes, "Hey-o!"
Hi-oh.
You crack me up.
Right, yeah.
And apparently, I put in the request. I was like, "Can I get some sad hey-os?" And then it was the first time, I guess they've always just had hey-o.
Right.
And it was the first time, so he comes like, hey-o. You know, just like all this kind of sad things. And so whenever I hear Groot now, I think of like going up to Adam Harrington, like, okay, I need this to be more sad.
I think they did like just a monster session to try and like just cover everything. So it was probably pretty exhausting, like knowing how those things go.
I'd like to know how that stuff is also labeled under a folder.
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll have to ask the VO guys like Etienne and Will would probably know.
Curious Groot. Ooh, you know what? We had Seductive Groot.
So it probably exists somewhere.
I am Groot. Complete with finger guns. So, can you walk us through this kind of area? What was so you always have, like, you know, you have the purpose of the area that you come into, like the main focus.
Yep.
What was your thought then of, like, filling it out? So it wasn't just like, just go to this one place, do this one thing, and done. Like, what was your idea with all the other characters?
Yeah, Anley Garrison and Mark Darren probably be better to ask about that because they were the designers for this. But it was definitely like giving you a sense of space, a sense of the scale on this large room. Allowing you to be in this area where the last time you were here, you were fighting for your life against Thanos, and taking his subsequently. And then here, it's kind of like figuring out, okay, what's Thanos was here, the Eternity Forge was here. You know, what did we miss? The relic seems to be indicating that we need to be here, that there might be something else.
1, 2, 3.
Was it
This
you
was
and
fun.
I who had I remember I had a discussion with somebody here at Telltale about the 1, 2, 3, and then go, or go on 3.
Yeah, I mean, it you know,
I
it's
forget who I had discussions with, but I'm a person where I'm go on 3. So 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 3, go.
well. See that you shouldn't say go then. You should say on 3, because if you say go on 3, then people could be waiting for the go.
So are you a person that typically will go 1, 2, 3, go?
I'm the type of person that I'm clear about my expectations of the other individual involved, and then I make sure that it is. It's a verbal contract.
Okay, anybody here seen Lethal Weapon? Anybody? It's 1, 2, and then on 3 you go. Contracts?
It's all in the semantics. It's a contract that you and I are entering into. This is important to be sure we're clear about our language up front. It's just like signaling your intentions on the highway. You want to get into another lane, you got to start signaling. You just use that turn signal and get over.
You would literally only have 3 seconds, maybe 4 at the most, only 3 seconds to make a decision on something. What, you want me to get out Excel? You want me to start typing away on Word or something? We have no time.
And then I have to make sure that I understand the expectations of the other party if they are initiating the 1, 2, 3 scenario.
Hey guys, we're back! Yay! If it looks like we have changed drastically, I mean, you see his spray on 10.
Right.
There, not a whole lot of time has elapsed outside of how to deal with one of those moments that all YouTubers know and love, where a camera goes down that's recording the main audio. And thankfully, once again, Murad totally on top of it. We maybe have lost, 5-10 minutes worth of content.
It was my funniest stuff for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you threw that
Yeah, if
saddle
you
on
thought
me
I'd
and
just
then
been-
rode me around the studio here, and then there was that eagle, that bald eagle that came out of nowhere,
Right,
swooped
yeah.
down.
Thank you, Ryan. I agreed to this.
I swear this is coffee. This
Yep,
isn't.
yep.
This isn't alcohol. What is it? Okay, back to the game. So, all right. So we were back in this kind of space of just
Right,
rocket.
back to the super emotional
Back
stuff.
to the very emotional stuff. So this I have to say, I mean, it's one of those kind of things like, damn you, Telltale, damn us.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Haha, you're sad now.
Yeah, you're sad now. Yep. We're going to coin that for now, and I swear to God it's going to pop us an achievement at some point in time.
Oh, yeah.
One of these moments are going to pop us like,
Yeah.
haha, you're sad now.
I don't know who came up with it. It wasn't me. I can't like credit on that.
I thought I could, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm here for you. It's not going to replace
I'll be there
Lila.
for you.
Like, he looks so... like, my heart breaks seeing Rocket this sad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not... It is something you're not used to seeing, and so it's just... Please explain this moment for us. Help put it in context in the sense of what are we looking at when it comes to holding on to her and letting her go?
Well, it felt poignant of, with Peter's attachment to his own device, the tape recorder that is kind of this visual artifact of his memories of childhood and his mother, and his kind of eternal boyhood, essentially. That we do a similar thing with Lila and Rocket's connection to Lila through the RISC computer that they built together. I believe you might even see it on the occasional close-up is that Lila's, like the battery that she throws you actually has her serial number from her vest on it, and that's I think it reads on the art somewhere in the inner workings of that device. And so just helping somebody navigate, it's like, this is a painful memory. Do you hang on to something that takes you back to that kind of emotional place, or do you leave it in the past and move on?
I have to say also, another shout out to our animation team. They do such a good job, dialing in those emotions for our characters that we can switch to, especially Rocket's face. I find to be so expressive, just, the eyebrows and the mouth and the ears, and just how it looks so cool. I love this moment. Love this moment. Now, I'm kind of curious, the music, because I have heard the
actual
copyrighted
license
music.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I don't know what this is going to sound like. There's a lot of this that's, we try to cue up as best we could. There's some really, definitely check this out with the license track. Buy the game, play it.
Yeah. Oh, crap! So who handled this fight scene here?
This was Chris Rebert.
Chris Rebert? Mm-hmm. I hear he does good things.
He does good things. Good things. I think Camilla helped him with support and helping him get his dev chores and stuff like that into the game.
Can you explain to him what we mean by dev chores?
Yeah, basically just like a single file that we then chop up and disperse over all of the tinier moments of the scene. And I'd leave her in here. I would not let her go.
I'm too trusting.
She spit in your face.
Yeah, well, we spit in each other's face.
Okay, you're even now?
I think we have an understanding, Don't make me spit in your face again.
I understand.
That's going to be on my business card from now on. It's going to be, Ryan Weller, don't make me spit in your face again.
Certainly send a message.
Yeah, if you guys walked around the office here, especially with our cinematic artists, you'll notice every single cinematic artist is like, stacks of books on cinematics, and because as currently right now we have 4 IPs being worked on, we constantly are having to change different styles on what we're shooting, how we're shooting it, the timing of everything. Are there 2 people in the scene? Is there a group of people in the scene? You're constantly having to kind of go back and forth, and it also depends on the director. What their vision for how the cameras, the FOV and everything else, and so it is interesting to see how versatile the cinematic artist team has to be to go back
they have
and
to
forth.
be able to jump from a Minecraft like product to Walking Dead to Guardians, and they all have slightly different, shape language, is a big part of it. Like a close-up in Minecraft is going to look different from a close-up in Guardians. Even between Lila, I remember that was something that we were talking about. Is if you do a traditional close-up on Lila, her face, because it's kind of more horizontal, just completely filled the screen. And it's just a little closer than you can get to with people with more vertical faces. And that's tailored by, it's he'll actually, if you tell him to get rid of his device, he'll use that and kind of rig up a makeshift bomb with it.
I do remember that being a little bit different, so that's kind of cool that even the payoff is and how you take out the baddie.
This was fun. This is another scene that's kind of been there since the beginning. And actually, when I was in fairly early on this project, or on this particular episode. So I remember being in creative meetings, and I'd break out I'd have a bunch of sticky note, kind of things, and then just I was storyboarding in those meetings. This particular sequence to try and figure out kind of what the best way to introduce this space was.
Yeah, this temple is definitely unique, and so it's more of those hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics,
yeah. That word.
That word, yeah.
That's word, see?
Kind of comes to life as the relic.
It's kind of like the password. Oh, what is it? What is
What?
it?
Tell us. There we go.
Damn you!
End of episode
I
2.
wanted to see what it was.
Yeah, and and those shots existed at one point, and then we just decided to give people just a tiny bit less information.
So originally,
Originally,
you did
yeah,
show us
you'd see a nice shadowy figure in the endless white room.
Surprised getting able to translate the relic, or did you? The reason why you're seeing zeros here.
Oh, right, yeah, because it's all.
We're not hooked up online here.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This
There's no other
recording is
stats to
happening
draw from,
before.
yeah.
We are happening before this is
perfectly balanced stats.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
here.
Well,
Nobody has done this.
We're in the majority and the minority all at the same time.
Or our choices just don't count.
Look at that! 100%. We are the 100%. So it is going to be interesting to see where you guys land as well when it comes.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in actually for the people watching, if you want to comment after you've beaten this game. Hopefully you're watching this after you've beaten the game. I would be interested in hearing what are your guys' stats. Where did you guys lean to?
Right.
100%. Did you tell Rocket to keep the risk of it? This is actually one I'm going to be legit interested in hearing.
Yeah,
And not just that, like, what was your stat, but your reasoning. Because it is such... Some people can, like, take stuff and they're like, they have no emotional attachment, like, whatever, it's just things. And then, like my grandfather, I remember, like, looking at his house, he was, like, old war vet, and he had so much stuff in his house that, like, he was never going to touch again. But it all had memories and had emotional context to them. So it is interesting. Everyone seems to have that different feeling. So I'm going to be if you guys leave some comments below, let us know which side you picked and why. I'd be really interested in seeing. Next time on.
Next time.
I will admit also, every single time I see a next time on, did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid?
Yeah.
Every single time I see anything, I was thinking, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Like that guy that was smoking like 20 packs of cigarettes a day. So that's all I hear when I see that. So we're back in the... You know what? It is something that Molly and I even discussed, and it is something interesting. Maybe you can give us, as a director, some context, since you had to help. So, is this supposed to be like after the fact of the entire season?
I mean, they're talking about everything in the past tense, so...
Because it is one of those things, like, it's strange, like, every next time on we've seen, it's always been them at the bar.
Right.
So, it is something interesting that I think it's very different, because most of the time, our next time ons have always been, showing scenes of the next time on. This is the first time I think we've had characters talking about it in a past tense.
Yeah, because I think even Borderlands had like a kind of a frame story.
Yeah.
But that was all in game. I think the next time ons were still.
Correct.
Yeah.
So could you also? I mean, I know you directed episode 2, but can you speak at all? Then was there any direction given when it comes to dealing with these? As it's something that started in the first episode, going to the second episode.
Right. It was basically the direction that I was given. Was just this is kind of like after the dust settled, like somebody's trying to piece together like all the what led up to the monumental events of the season, and that sort of thing. It's always kind of felt like a frame story. Is it a frame story that we'll see? Is like, are we going to catch up to this someday? I don't know, but it's definitely something that we're talking about.
Because I think the interesting thing, especially with Yondu, we saw more of Yondu in the previous episode when it came to the next time on than in the actual episode, because we see him get Peter as a young Peter, taking him away, that kind of stuff. But then he's talking in the next time on, in the bar kind of thing. So it was always one of those kind of interesting things. You see all these characters just kind of like talking about their experiences, and it's like, wow, this is different. I like it. It's different. But it is definitely different. Okay, so here's 2 questions, and this is what we're going to start doing on the show.
Okay.
For this episode, what was you know what? I'll ask the great old question. Do you like good things first or bad things first?
Bad things, always, yeah.
All right, so what was the hardest thing to work on this episode?
Probably the ending climactic fight on the Milano. You've got Kree boarding. Star-Lord puts on his headphones, and we start pumping up that licensed track, and getting all the music to line up with the action beats. You know, an action scene that was designed like months before we actually knew exactly which track we were going with. It was so rewarding when it came together. It was also the most difficult thing in the episode, figuring out what we had to kind of slow things down to let the action catch up with the music, where we had to nip things away in order to catch up to the music, and just getting it just right and figuring out where we could hide any needle drops so that we could end right when the gravity shifts back and Star-Lord hits the floor on the bridge. I think it came together really well, but it was the best and hardest thing about the episode for sure.
Cool. Well, Jason, thank you so much once again for joining us here. Do appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you like that video, hit that like button. If you enjoy this new content that we're putting out, hit that subscribe button. And guys, do remember, this space is not just mine, it is yours as well. So I'll see you next time we welcome you into the player space.
Nailed it.
That's what you call nailing it.
Boom.
Boom.
First take.
First take. Oh, not multiple takes, but first take. All right.
I'm just gonna say in a little bit in the beginning just to make sure audio is okay.